Come on, let's go live. Let's go live, yeah. Oh crap, I'm live. What's everybody? Eat Daddy, you're angry toy guy. Here today. A little late. But that's all right. Better late than never, right? So hopefully everybody enjoyed the. Let me turn this thing off because I hear it already. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the video about the little WWF thumb wrestlers made by LJN. Now, if you haven't had, I know I haven't publicly posted anything about it yet. There is a video up about the 5.5-inch figures made by both Super 7 and Funko. Trying to think if there's anything else. Maybe. Might be more. Keep watching. So, anyway, we're going to have a little discussion, talk about probably the one vehicle that was Masters related that I never really could make much sense of when I was a kid. But boy, did Mattel pick it up whenever they decided to do classics, and they put out the classics version of it. And yes, I'm talking about the Roton. Anybody does not have one, holy crap, find you one. Rumor was around Christmas time that Ollie's had them for like $15 a piece. I don't know if that was the truth or not. But I tell you what, I got one last March whenever I hosted the Waffle Con, which for anybody that watches this and does not know what Waffle Con is, I'll just give you guys a quick rundown on it. Like I said, for those who don't know, some of the groups, hell no. Out, kitty, out. Bad kitty. So in waffle groups, they go through and they have giveaways. They call them waffles. Nickname around about all of us being the Waffle Mafia. Somebody come up with the idea of doing a Waffle Con. I took the reins of that project, rolled with it. First time, not a whole lot of people, not a whole lot going on, but still a lot of fun. I did some trading around with a fella that did show up for it and managed to get me one. And I really didn't have no idea on like the size of it. I mean, we all know what the vintage one looks like. I swear you could take 4 of the vintage ones and make one big classics Roton, and we're going to get to that here in a little bit. But anyways, I guess enough of me gabbing on about that. And I can hear my big orange cat trying to figure out how to get the door open back there. The joys of doing live videos. But anyway, so the Roton, originally introduced it to the originally introduced during the Filmation series. It was originally a multiple person vehicle. Any of us that remember seeing the Filmation cartoon series back in the day? We saw multiple evil warriors riding in the Roton. Dark Soldier you're going to have to tell me who in the hell you are, because, like, I got a feeling I know who you are, but I'm just not sure. But I do agree with your comment. They really should have made some more vehicles, and hopefully somebody will pick up the ball and do it. I really am concerned about if Super 7 does it. Because it'll be like, how long will it take once they announce it will take for them to get it to us? While, yes, they did give us Stridor, let's face it, that's basically a repaint of Night Stalker with one additional helmet piece for it. But anyways, in Filmation, you pretty much had the same look as what we got toy-wise. Black chassis, red rotating blades, big red evil eyes. Made it look as evil as the evil warriors that were riding around in it. Seemed like the blades were more club-like appendages that could actually knock enemies straight off their feet rather than going through and cutting them apart. Now, like I said, I'm doing a lot of this from taking a look, doing some research on them. The 83 Golden Books, Ladybird Books, the 84 UK World Annuals, and the 86 UK Comic Mags. They had it more resembling like the toy itself and making it to be where it's just a single rider, just like the toy. Had a hover propulsion system, which enabled it to travel over any terrain. And the rotating knife blades were, of course, ideal for cutting down trees and the forest undergrowth. Made great for them going through and clearing stuff out for them, without a doubt. I mean, hell, Skeletor's got, and his guys got to get around there some way. The 84 German audio plays in the Inner Park Condor comics pretty much showed Roton as being Skeletor's most favorite ride to be traveling around in. Of course, once again, it could travel over any terrain, but they made it to where, could hold 2 or more people again. Honestly, never made much sense there. It's like, we've seen a toy, it's one passenger, one person. That's it. A lot of them went a different route. And it would have been cool to see them do it, to make like a bigger one to where we could have put the figures up in there, having where they could stand up or something in it and still be able to travel around in it. And now I'm thinking about it, going back to a comment we discussing a while ago. I would love to see, whether it be Super 7 or whether it be Mattel, since they still do have part of the license, is to go through and make a Filmation accurate attack track to where we could put some of the figures up in there. Make it to where 1 or 2 can ride in the front, open up doors to the back, put some in the back. That would be awesome. All right, moving on. The German, and I have a hard time pronouncing this, the IHAPA Motu Comics, they returned the Roton into being a one-person vehicle. The Evil Warriors, or as they were known in those comics, the Demons of Evil, used several Rotons to be able to travel across Eternia. They had like a fleet of them. And they could attack from high above the ground. So, in other words, they had to where, this sucker was flying up in the air for a change. Not really something you saw a whole lot of anywhere else. So, and I think, honestly, that's probably, like a little bit of an upgrade from the hover propulsion system that Golden Books and Ladybird Books and all them had going. By the way, I'm going to give everybody a fair warning. This might not be nearly as long as most of my ones, but gonna be a fairly easy subject tonight. I was joking around with one of my friends earlier on the Facebook pages. We were talking about. I went through and made a comment about, hey, once NXT takeovers done, we'll get this done. He made a comment saying, hey, I heard there's plenty of tickets left for the Rumble and Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Which to my reply, in a very joking way, was, yeah, no, I got to get this done so I can get some sleep, hop an early flight, catch the shows, hashtag surprise 28 entry. Something like that. Now, we did not see a Roton in New Adventures. No form of it in any way. Nor did we see Roton being used in any sort in the 2000X series. I've got a sneaking suspicion that if they had been allowed to have furthered that cartoon series and had got a chance to bring out the Horde, that we probably would have seen the Roton introduced. At least that's what I like to think, like to hope. But we didn't hear of anything about it again until Mattel started making these again, or started making the classics. And in their canon, they were vicious saw spinning attack vehicles used by Destroyer back in time when Vicor was basically your He-Man. Now, Destroyer, we all know, is one of the Fighting Foemen, is somewhat credited with being the one who went through and invented the Roton. Be honest, this should have been one of those ones. I know they made a 3-pack of the Fighting Foemen, and when we got Roton, we got something different with it, in which, in all honesty, the damn name right now completely lost my head right now. Give me a second. Let me look here because I know I wrote it down. Or did I? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I was going through and doing a complete listing of every single figure I have. This is before I got some new ones. The Skelecon, that's what it was. Yeah, I'll find it sooner or later. Yeah. Anyways, I said, we got the Skelecon with it, which they may have done that because of, eventually the Evil Warriors were using it according to the classics canon. But anyways, Vicor went through and he trapped not only the Rotons, but Destroyer and the Fighting Foemen into a mystical glacier where they remain for thousands of years. I got a feeling when they probably got released, they were probably really pissed being that freaking cold for that freaking long. I know I would be. Hordak, he went through, he found them, freed them, employed them to help him fight the renegade masters of the universe. Apparently they were being used by Hordak and them during the second Ultimate Battleground, and they were used to go through and to attack the tower after it got taken over by Sweet Bee some of the Dreenids and Avionians. So, at least we got to see a return of the Roton, which was great. Honestly, great. Because, they put that toy out. They gave it, they gave it some depth, some backstory to it. Like, where in the hell did this thing come from? Because it's never been explained before. Was it something Skeletor created? Was it something Triclops created? One of the other evil warriors create? It was never alluded to in any of the canon that I went back through and looked. It was never mentioned before. Now, going on to the whole Skelecon theory. Even though, the Rotons were used to bolster the Horde, at some point they were part of the evil warriors. And so I think right there, if I remember right, Skeletor made the Skelecons. Maybe use the Skelecons inside the Rotons to go through and use them that way. Not 100% sure, but that's my theory to it. And later on, Twistoid, he got defeated by Rotar. Twistoid's mind was basically installed into a Roton. It became self-aware and then became a very key member of Skeletine's evil warriors. Skeletine, for those who know, for those who don't, was actually the love child of Skeletor and one Evelyn Morgan Powers, aka Evil Lynn. All right, so that kind of a brief. Of course, there's not much history behind it on the Roton, but it did give us kind of a look on, okay, where'd it come from? What was it used for? What was the whole point of the blades, for those who might not have ever watched any of the cartoons? So, anyways, first off, we're going to look at the vintage ride, which he is not complete. He is missing his little cannons right here. Now, Lux One's got majority of the stickers. It does actually still fairly work. You got that little wheel on the bottom. Go through and made that annoying clicking sound. So if you were trying to play in the morning when you were a kid, try to play with this 10-1, you probably woke up your parents. I know I did a time or two. After that, I made it fly, and I never really saw the thing fly before that. They had all the nice little stickers all the way around it, which, we all had to go through and put on. Now, like I've seen in one with the classics version, which I'll show here shortly, and in some of the overseas comic publications, it did have a roof over it. Now, you did not see the roof being used in Filmation or anything like that. But like I said, it was seriously a single-person ride. Oh, where the hell are my little single people? All right, he's not an evil warrior, but he'll work. Had stiff legs. He didn't want to stay put. They didn't want to stay put in there too well. Well, you can still get him to cruise around in it. I imagine it probably would look somewhat goofy that riding around that. Something hit. They get knocked over. Goodbye, evil warrior. Overall, This is why sometimes I like doing the recorded version. Hang on. Sorry about that. There's nothing worse than getting the hiccups during a live. Anyways, the guns, let's face it, I mean, they were kind of flimsy to keep on there. So, I mean, honestly, if one person could find the guns for one that has the gun still, right there is truly worth keeping around. Like I said, you had that cooking sandwich. Over time, it'll still somewhat work most time, but it gets hung up every now and then. Like I said, one of those toys that when I was a kid, we were getting those, never really understood the whole point of why was it here. But like I said, Mattel went through and they picked up the ball when they decided to re-release it in the classics version all those years later. Now I keep this thing put up, actually up above the computer here, so it's a little dusty. Wow, he's a lot dusty. This thing looks like it's been trapped in a cave for years. I didn't realize that ahead of time. Let me put that back on there. All right, and pull it off its base stand, because I want it. Now, it was really cool, you know, right off the bat. Something we could not have with the vintage, and most vintage that had the ability to. We got a nice little stand to put it on and make it look like it's flying up in the air. And it's pretty durable, a lot more durable than, say, the stands they gave the Doom Seeker that they gave Triclops, or the stand that they gave the Horde Wraith. So, anyways, the size of this big sucker. So, Mattel, when they went through and they re-released this, they went through and they got the job done. Now, they used a combination. Classics, baby. I mean, honestly, this thing's like freaking huge. When I first got this thing, I unboxed it. My kids were going, "Holy crap! What the heck is that?" But anyways, I say, on top of getting Skelecon with it, you know, we got the domed roof on it. You know, so where you put them in there, they were protected. Take that off. You had the guns, of course. Now, I don't understand this, but they put like 2 spots for the guns, and like the second spot for the guns were like right there beside the controls for it. Never really can make much sense of that at all. But it's really cool, you know, they went through and they put, you know, the control handles on there. But I mean, seriously, pop those off. Take a good look. They've got 2 sets of holes there. And for why, don't know. You put them in the first set of holes, they really don't like stay in place. So honestly, it's like, seems like the back set of holes better put them in. They did a great job with the design on this. Instead of getting stickers, they went through and they detailed pieces, molded in, popped in place, all the way around it. As you can tell, you know, and they did great with the detail on it, without a doubt. the eyes included. Now, I'm going to try to do this without dropping it. Now, it had on the bottom 4 wheels, kind of help balance this thing out a little bit better. But it's the ones that are on the left and right of it. As it moves, you get the spinning motion on it. And that right there, it was great because then you had the balance. You had the balance needed. Couldn't really go wrong with that. Like I said, they did great on the articulation with this. Made it look a lot more menacing than what this did. Giving it the handles right there for the, make it look like it's controlling and everything. Almost like this thing is almost like for the Evil Warriors, use like a 0-turn mower. Does have the foot pedals down on the bottom. I don't know how well anybody see them right there. But yeah, this thing, they really went through and they stepped it up when they made this one. So that right there was great. Made it truly an awesome piece for anybody's classics collection. And like I said, the addition of the cover of the canopy cover, that right there, great to have. Have that little horn right there on the top right there. Made it great for it. Now, the only thing I didn't care for with it was the fact that we got, get back on there. We got instead Skeleton. When they really could have went through and given us Skeletor, who was already out and released anyways. They could have given us a variant on Skeletor, or since they were doing figures from all different periods of the timeline, they could have put Skeleton in it, given us a Skeleton. Of course, I know it would have made this thing even more expensive now to get a hold of, but still, it would have been really awesome to have gotten that instead. So, I mean, overall, they picked up the ball with it. They did a great job on it. I really can't get too frustrated or aggravated with it. I would love to. But when you get something like this, like I said, you take you do away with the figure that they put in there with it, and it's, you do away with that figure, and you got a hell of a great ride. Yes, there was other ones that we all probably would have loved to have seen, but it is still pretty damn badass. So I mean, we can't complain too much. Like I said, the Skeleton figure, yeah. Skeleton would have made it completely badass to have gotten a hold of. All right, with that being said, next week I will probably be uploading a video on a character for on here, because I have got other plans that were made for next weekend. So I will not be available to join everybody live here on here. But in 2 weeks' time, I'll be back up on here live. And if I don't do something live in the meantime, in 2 weeks, we will go through and do King Grayskull, which I know I'm about halfway, I'm about 95% sure that's probably what I promised y'all this week. But I had something come across the table that made me want to delay doing that one. Because when we do that one, it'll be another one. But I mean, let's face it, with classics, you know, we got several versions of the 2000X introduction of King Grayskull. So, you know, with what I had come across, I kind of couldn't resist just waiting, because I'm going to have something special in mind for that one, which I'll post up when it gets closer to time. But anyways, everybody, make sure you hit the like button if you like this. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you saw. Got more videos coming up on the way. Working on some right now, you know, as far as the old muscle figures. You know, the original Japanese Kenshi figures. But we're going to talk, you know, I'm going to do a little video about those. I'm going to do something about probably one of the most popular and well-seen figures in the late 80s. And yes, I'm talking about the California Raisins. I know. Also got something coming up. Do something about some of the real Ghostbusters action figures. Some more of the wrestling stuff. The Jakks toys that we got back in the latter part of the 90s, along with the Hasbro WWF figures. So keep your eyes peeled. As I get them done, I'm gonna try to get them up on here, give you all some worthwhile entertainment. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. I gotta go through and try to rate this thing. I honestly gotta say, the vintage version, I said I never really saw a point in it back in the day, but it's still a cool little piece. Never could make much sense out of it on why it was there. But with design and all that, you know, I'll go 3 out of 5 on it. But with the classics monstrosity, thank God I put it back on the stand. I am definitely going 5 out of 5 because, like I said, you got to take Skelecon out of this. We're just talking about the Roton. 5 out of motherfucking 5. Because, I mean, they went through and they stepped it up and they went all out on the design, on you know, the sculpt of it, everything. They did a fan-fucking-tastic job with that. And if it's not one of those things, you know, that you don't have in your collection, you need to get one. Yes, JD Gibson, you are correct. Damn, Roton fucking rules. I mean, like I said, the vintage, you know, when we were kids, I didn't understand, you know, they make much sense out of why was it there, but they did a fucking fantastic job when they picked it up with classics. But anyway, like I said, hit the like and subscribe button. We're getting some more stuff up on here. Next time I go live, like I said, JD, I don't know if you caught it. Next week I'm going to be doing, I'll have a taped version of the show. but 2 weeks, I will finally go through and talk about, we'll look at the toys as far as the King Grayskull goes. So anyways, I am E-Daddy, your angry toy guy, saying keep supporting the lines, no matter how crappy some companies make some stuff. Keep collecting. Keep the love going for this kind of stuff, because like I've said in another review, who knows what if some of this stuff's gonna hold up another 35 years from now. Still holding up pretty good. Will this in 35 years? Don't know. But anyways, I'm E-Daddy, your angry toy guy. Till next time, behave yourselves. See you next week.